Keep it simple. In the last video, we talked about choosing a strategy that fits you. Now let's talk about how that turns into an actual trade and how trading with consistency allows that strategy to work. Trading with consistency means repeating the same actions the same way each time on purpose. So you want to have a clear process and follow it the same way each time you see your setup. And so we've noticed we have a trend line here. We can see that price bounce has been bouncing along this trend line. Price has been moving up because we've had higher highs and higher lows. We're bouncing along this trend line. We have higher highs and higher lows. And so naturally we would want to take a trade to the upside, which means we believe that price is going to continue going high based on what's happened in the past. We also notice that price is bouncing along this support zone. So actually we have two reasons to believe that price is going to continue upward. And so what we would do is click there and we can see that there is a tool called a long position tool. And so you would click on that. And after we see an engulfing candle, what you would do is put your tool here and you would put your stop loss. The stop loss prevents you from losing too much money. And so you would want to put it down here below these lows. Because if price goes down here, we're assuming that price is going to just continue going down. And what we're doing is expecting price to continue to the last high or to continue to the next level of support or resistance. And so there are some micro levels within this too, because we're on the 1 hour time frame. So we could put our take profit, which you often hear people say TP. So we could put our take profit here at this wick. This is also a level where price has come to. We see it came to this area a few times. You can see it stopped here once. It stopped here in this zone a couple of times more, here and here. And so we could put our take profit right there. And then this center number here tells us what our ratio is. Sometimes you may have heard people say RR, risk to reward, and that means our risk to reward ratio is 1 to 1.9, or almost a 1 to 2, which is pretty good. And we'll see if price reaches our TP. Okay. And so we can see there was an engulfing candle here. And so we would have entered probably right after that engulfing candle. Okay, and we can see that after a while, we did reach our take profit. And what you can also do is practice using your paper trading account. So we could take that same trade this way. So you click the word trade to place an order, and you'll see a panel come up. And this is a trading panel. And in the last example we just showed, we took a buy, like here in this area. And so you'd make sure that you click buy. And if you would like to see what your take profit and your stop loss would look like, you can click limit. And we just decided a few moments ago that our stop loss would be under this area, under these lows, and that our take profit would be here where this wick was, and that we would buy like right in here. I like using the limit order because I can see before I even start what the one-to-one looks like. And in this paper trading account, if price were to reach my take profit area, I would add $3.48. And if I were to lose this trade, I would only lose $2.87. So I can see that before I even get in if I click on the word limit. And with this limit order, as soon as price crossed this line, you would be entered into the trade, so you don't want to be too close to a price action. So we've talked about the two ways that we can take a trade. We can use the long position and short position tool over here on the left, so you can click on those. The second way is to click the trade button down here to bring up an order panel, and you would hit market, and then you would click buy, and that would put you into the trade. And you could see the places that you had put the limit order before are still there, and you're free to move those around like this. The third way is to just come over here and click these buy and sell buttons. You would just click it and it would show up like that, and then you could drag your stop loss and your TP wherever you would like. And so those are the 3 ways to take a trade on TradingViews. Okay, in one of our earlier videos in the series, we had a subscriber ask about the countdown clock. They'd like to know how to add it to our TradingView setup. So now we're on EURUSD again, and we can see that there is a little clock over here that's counting down. Right now it says that there are 9 minutes and about 20 seconds left on the clock, and it's counting down. And what it's doing is counting down the amount of time that each candle has left to complete. So we're on the 15-minute time frame. We know that each one of these candles took 15 minutes to form. And so that means that the candle that is forming right now has about 8 or 9 minutes left before it completes. Having a countdown to candle close is helpful when you want to get a clear picture of price action. We know just from experience that candles can change the way they look from 1 minute to the next. So 1 minute it might be looking like a candle is bearish and going down, and a couple of seconds later it might look like it's bullish and going up. So it's helpful to know how much time is left in a candle, and sometimes you can set your alarm on your phone to give yourself an alert of when to return to the candle, so you're not making decisions before you have a clear picture. It also helps to know how much time you've got left before your 3-bar reversal completes, or before you decide whether your candles is engulfing or not. So it's really helpful when you're working with your entry models for trades. All right, and so in order to get this on your screen, you can click on this little cogwheel down here, and then click on More Settings. And you'll see that this is the settings menu, and there's symbols and the status line and scales and lines. And if you look down here to price labels and lines, you'll see that there is a countdown to bar close. And so you just need to be sure that that is checked. So you want to check that box. And then you can also decide what color you'd like for that label to be. I've chosen purple, and you can choose any color that you would like. And then after you've made sure that that is check marked and you've chosen your color, then you can go ahead and click OK. Okay, and then from here on out, each time that you open the chart, you should be able to see the countdown clock. All right, so I hope that was helpful, and I hope you're able to benefit from using that feature. Okay, so remember that trading is a skill. So if you choose one strategy and enter trades the same way and be sure to focus on consistency, then you'll make progress, and this leads to success. So remember that we're here to build something steady and consistent. So thank you so much for being part of this series. And as always, keep it simple.